Hey there! Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cookie B. Now this is an impromptu session. I am still celebrating my 58th birthday. And guess what? I'm outside glamping. We are at Boulder City and we are in the middle of just enjoying the sunshine. But as I was enjoying the sunshine, I'm out here with my brother of the leaf. This is Mr. Ben. Let me see if I can get this right here. Yes.
What up?
And we were just sitting here having a...
What up?
Can you see it? We were just sitting here having a conversation about life and just talking in general. I don't know, so I'm going to have to bring it back.
Want me to sit in this other chair?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Sit in the other chair. Now, even with this conversation, he was really spitting some great knowledge. And we were talking about relationships, and we're also talking about his marriage. Now, I'm going to tell you a little backstory when I introduce my guest. This is Ben Thomas.
What's up?
Hey there. Now, when having this conversation, this is his second time around when it comes to being married. It's so funny because the woman that he's married to, this is their second time around. Now, we were just sitting here conversating, and it just got deep, so I had to go live. I just had to go live. So I want you to continue to talk about, because, and I'm going to start it off because we were talking about independence. There's this myth that women, oh, I'm independent and I don't need no man and blah, blah, blah. And he just said something that was very insightful, and we thought we're just talking about it, and it just started piggybacking off of other conversations. So I want you to go back to the...
Hey, beautiful.
Hold on,
You've got a text message.
Let me turn this thing off right here, my notification. Sorry about that. So I want you to go back to that because you said something about women being independent.
Well,
the myth.
The myth of the independent woman is based on this concept that you don't need a man. I can do everything for myself. I pay my own bills. I do this. I do all that stuff. So, just like there's no thing as an independent man, because I do all that as well, but I don't get the title. I don't get the status. I don't get recognition for paying my bills, fixing my stuff, or whatever. The myth of the independent woman is that she doesn't need a man. But what most women forget is that all you are is an adult. You made those bills. You should pay those bills. You got those issues, you get somebody to address those issues. And 90% of the time, for things like your car, your house, other things, you're going to have a man in your life. You're going to have that electrician. You're going to have that plumber. You're going to have that...
Now, you broke it down to something just that simple, yes. Because there are going to be men in your life.
Right, there are going to be men in your life. This concept of, I don't need a man, blah, 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 it's all garbage. And it's basically garbage because you've gotten it in your mind that because you're doing everything that a regular adult does, you need a status. You throw your chest, I've got my education. Okay, so what does that do for you? All it does is put you in a better financial position when you're either working for someone or you're an entrepreneur.
Okay.
The question that I always ask when someone throws that up in my face, because I'm married to an AKA, right? Just to let y'all know.
Divine 9, C5, go ahead.
Where's the benefit for me? What is the benefit of your education that's tangible to me? What do I gain from you having all that education? And I've been sort of waiting for that answer because I've got my education. Okay, that sounds great.
Well, that means you can have intellectual conversation.
Well, I'm sure that is
I'm
something...
going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah. I'm sure that's something that I based our relationship on is... intellectual conversation. That's not it.
Okay.
All those things provide you a certain status. However, you use those things to place yourself on a pedestal, thinking that you deserve more and should get more
because of your education.
You've done that. And then I break it down in a relationship. For a man, what does that bring me from a tangible perspective that's going to improve my life? Hang on. I'll wait.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have it.
Thank you.
When you put it in that perspective, when it comes to, like you said, even though women have their independence, now when I'm coming into my marriage, when we are coming together as one, because this is something we were previously talking about, and this is why I'm re-bringing it up, because now we can. I think we were just talking about this. We can grow together.
Right.
We can build. We can. Have this glorious life that society always talks about.
So here's the difference. When you're in your
I'm getting the camera with you.
Okay,
Said,
so that's okay.
Go ahead.
So when you're in your 20s and 30s, your relationship is all about building and growing stuff together. Because you haven't really truly established yourself. You're trying to find out, what you're good at, what can help you be successful financially, whether it be education, position, entrepreneurship, and all that good stuff. And then you're trying to develop that as a couple. When you're in your 30s and 40s, more than likely it's about raising kids. You know, you're still working on yourself, your career. You're trying to get to that point of where you're both financially secure. You're building whatever it is you're trying to build together, and that's your focus: raising kids, trying to get to your next phase, trying to determine your career. But when you're in your 50s and 60s, and I'm 64.
Yes, I wanted to say that too, because you're 64 and you gave me a lot of background.
Now, when you're talking about your relationship, it's based on companionship. You know, you should have done, hopefully, you've attained what you're going to attain. You're at the end of your career. You've attained what you're going to attain. Now you're focused on retirement and all these other things that you're going to do when you're no longer working. Your kids are grown. They're off and doing their thing. So now it's you and your companion.
Okay. Well, let's stop right there, because when you say companion, because before I went live, we were talking about marriage, and you said something that was gave me a new perspective, insightful, because you gave me the definition of why you don't really think marriage is necessary.
Well, the reason why I don't think marriage is necessary is because normally it's based on some false belief that marriage is what keeps you together, and it's not. It is your determination, your cognitive decision, not your emotional one, but your cognitive decision to stay with someone that you want to be with. There are plenty of people who've been married who, you know, divorced. I've been married once before. I've been divorced, so on and so forth. But marriage was just legal documentation for all the things that I did not do or have done and weren't connected to my companion when we started. But everything that you can do in a marriage, you can do with legal documentation. Now, she can make life decisions for me. That's a piece of paper. She can, I can sign over my property, put her on my deeds, all this other good stuff. That's just documentation, and it's all legal. It's the concept of marriage that where I'm so in love with this person, I want to be with this person forever. No, it's all about commitment. Commitment is what it's really about. Love is just, it's an emotion that can be fleeting, it can come and go, it can be up and down, but commitment is a decision and it's a choice.
Okay, I agree with that.
That's what's more important to me than love.
Than love?
Absolutely. Because again, love is fleeting.
Yeah, now we talked about that. When you say your definition, when you finally decided to say, okay, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, you're saying that you really don't need a marriage to make that commitment.
No.
But then too,
marriage is about status.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Marriage is about status. You know, you want to tell somebody, show the world that you're married to someone. You don't need to get married to do that.
Now, mind you,
as a matter of fact,
I've never been married, so I'm learning this stuff.
For 3 years, when me and my current wife were dating, everybody thought we were married.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, how's your wife? Or, oh, how's your husband? Or, oh, no, it wasn't that we were married. I had to tell people we're not married, but we move like a married couple because we're committed to one another. And
now you said something that was very insightful before I turned the cameras on. The commitment. And the spirituality that comes with that commitment. I want you to say more about that because I thought it was very insightful.
So, my parents have been married for 65 years.
Okay.
In a traditional sense. And
we talked about the roles. I want you to
right. So I'm a baby boomer. Right. I missed out on the Gen Z or X or Y or whatever letter we're working on right now. And I missed out on that. I grew up where my mother knew her position in the family and what she was supposed to do. My father knew his position in the family and what he was supposed to do. And they filled those roles for over 65 years. There was never an argument over who was going to do what. There was never 100% you got this. There's never 100% you got that. But there were very defined roles in their relationship so that all of the functions that needed to be covered were covered.
Okay.
And nobody was going, well, I don't do that. I worked all day and I'm tired too. And no, it was never that. It was always about what was best for the family so that they could get through the challenges they faced on a day-to-day life. And there were times when my mother, she made more money than my father, but she never threw that up in his face.
Okay, we have that now.
It was about their role, and she was always his wife first. Then I'm just this and I'm just that. That was far more important to her than being able to say, well, I make more money than you, I should be able to do this and that and the other. No, because when it came to decisions like, and I laugh at this, because when it comes to decisions like, okay, I would tell my wife in this, I say, so if the tire had a flat, would you rather that I be there, change it right then and there, or would you rather wait for AAA to come? Would you rather call me first, because you know I can change your tire?
Right.
I can do that. Or would you rather wait for AAA? She said, well, I'd rather wait for you. And she says, why? I said, because I feel safe when I'm there. She don't know the AAA guy, but now these women are, well, I don't need a man. I'm going to call AAA.
I want you to expound on that, because you were saying that part about
so if you were to do
what you don't need.
Yeah, so because I grew up baby boomer, and my dad grew up on a farm, and my mother was a very old school type of woman. They taught me how to cook, clean, sew. I can change a tire, I can change the brakes, I can do the plumbing, I can do the electrical, I can paint the house. Because all my friends call me Bob the Builder when I ain't.
Yes,
because I'm always
this is
building
Bob here, sitting right here. We're out glamping, and he put this whole shed thing up so that everybody can be in comfort, and that's just a great thing. But go ahead.
So
that was just wonderful.
Basically, that just led to this mindset of, what can you really do for me? Now, in my 50 years of dating women, I started when I was 14. I've been married once before, and all these other things. I've raised kids and all this other stuff. When I got to 50 and I was divorced, and I've been divorced for a few years, and I did my rip and run, and I was over that, it came to me about, what do I really get from a woman besides primarily sex and companionship? And so I said, well, what's tangible? And I asked this woman that I was dating at one time. She says, well, I said, well, what do you really do for me? She said, well, I cook and I clean and I this and I that. It was about 5 or 6 things on this little list she had. And I sat there and said, well, before I met you, I was cooking for myself. Before I met you, I did my own laundry. Before I met you, I cleaned my own house. So what is it that you do for me that I need you to do or want you to do? And it wasn't a list of things she gave me. And as a matter of fact, she didn't bother to ask me, and rarely have I ever been asked in any attempt to get in any relationship, what did I want out of the relationship?
Now I want you to expound on that, because you said it's only been twice.
Only twice in my life
that a woman has said, go ahead,
has asked me what I wanted out of the relationship. Mostly I get this list of, I want to be married, and I want this, and I want that, and I'm like, so what am I supposed to get out of this?
Good morning.
What am I supposed to get out of this? So when it was over and done with, and I kind of upset the women a little bit, because I would say, so let's take all these things you say you can do for me, which is usually a list of, 5 or 6 things. I'm gonna take off 4 of them, and then tell me what's left. There's only usually companionship and sex.
Yeah,
that is it. And that's why I tell you, love is when you're in a relationship with someone, especially for a man, it's a conscious decision, because the intangibles don't matter to us. Intangibles matter to what? Tangibles matter to women, and the intangibles matter to us. For example, you can be this independent woman and make all this money, but if I got my shit together, I don't need your money. As a matter of fact, it will never come up as a part of our conversation that, well, I'm gonna need you to pay for the breaks and.
But a woman can say the same thing when it comes to marriage. Like, if I'm making money, if I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I don't need a man, except for sex and companionship.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would absolutely agree with that. You don't need a man, but you need more than that man for sex and companionship, because you need that brother that's going to change your brakes. You're going to need that brother that's a plumber. You're going to need that electrician. You're going to need that carpenter. You're going to need that trash guy. There's so many things that have been connected to your life that men do. For you to say that you don't need a man is ridiculous.
So why? No. Now let me ask you, vice versa. So when it comes to a man can say, I really don't need no woman.
Well, I would never say that, because my thing is, and the big thing for me is, I spend a lot of time. I have both energies, male and female energies.
Okay, and that's the thing that's going on right now, because you gotta come out of your masculine side, your feminine side, and all that stuff.
I say that because there's certain behaviors that go with that.
Okay.
That I would say that are traditionally male and behaviors that are traditionally female.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, 98% of the things on this planet I could care less about. I don't give my energy to it. I could care less about it, so on and so forth. But I need somebody to make me aware that I need to care about those things. Like birthdays, I'm absolutely horrible. My kids' birthdays, my grandkids' birthdays, and all that other stuff. It's not. It doesn't have that forefront to be something that I think about. Right?
Okay.
I'm more concerned with, okay, is the car running? Is the plumbing straight? Yard done? House running right? We getting these bills paid? We doing this? She focuses a lot of times on when's our next vacation? We got to go see the grandkids. Da 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 da. That's that feminine energy that I don't have. I'm very much the hunter, builder, da 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 guy. It doesn't
provide, profess, and protect.
Yeah, that's it. That's my element. I know those elements because when I was younger as a child, that's the way my father made me. My father did not build me to be concerned with birthdays and you got to remember Mary's birthday's coming up on Tuesdays. And
so that more or less was your mother's job or your mother's role. Let me say that.
Absolutely,
mother's role.
It was definitely her job, and it's something for trips and things that we have to do with other couples and vacations and birthdays and all that. I depend on her. That's her strength for me.
Okay.
Right? Because if she didn't do that, there'd be a lot of granddad. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, and you never called me. That kind of shit. And it's because it's not in the forefront of my energy. She can manage those things, and I'm grateful for those things. However, sometimes there are these little moments that I sort of trust me. So she'll ask me about something, piece of furniture or some color she's picked or something, and she wants my feedback. Well, because I don't care, I don't have any feedback. But she's not happy with that because she wants us to make these things together, and I don't care.
Okay.
But but if she's gonna pay for it, I really don't give a damn. I'm like, hey, you paying for it? Knock yourself out. Whatever you want it to be, you want it to be. I don't care. And that's something that we've worked out between us because it takes a lot of energy for you to care. So
the model, when you're saying that, the balance is what's popping in my head. The yin and the yang. I know the ebb and flow. I know you got this because I'm gonna do this. Or like you said, we talked about this earlier when you said your role. When you say your role, nowadays when it comes to relationships, we are going through this era where women are just saying, I can do all this.
But the issue is they don't want to do it all.
But then you also have the men nowadays that, and for the lack of my word, becoming bitches.
Yeah, they bitch.
Oh, but what about me? What about me? Well, I can do this, blah blah blah, or they're not. And I was watching something where the men are tapping into quote unquote their feminine side, but it's a little too much. Well, it's a little too much, and I'm just like, is this what they're doing? And I don't know if it's because of this generation. And I'm not going to blame it on that either, but I'm just wondering.
I actually think it's because there's a lot of single mothers out there that are raising boys and putting them in that feminine energy, and they don't have any exposure to masculine energy where the whole thing is always about them. And the majority of the relationships I've been with, and with the women that I've been with, it's always been about them. Well, what can't you do, Finny? And but I'm an independent woman. But can you go out there and change my tires, or can you go out there and fix my brakes? Oh, this bag is too heavy. I need you to carry it downstairs. Ain't none of my shit in that goddamn bag. Why do I gotta carry it downstairs?
Now we talked about this too because this is your second time. You and Miranda. What made you and her decide, or made you decide, because of your stance on, I don't need to be married to you for us to have all that we're having. What made you just go ahead and say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead? And I must tell you guys a little backstory, because I did not know, but I was invited to there, and I think I posted this on my other page, where they had a Christmas party. And in having this Christmas party, I really was sitting there going, why does Miranda look like she got on a wedding dress? And come to find out, they had already gotten married, but this was more or less like a celebratory
it's like a reception.
Like a reception. They invited their closest friends. So now you guys did an intimate setting where you were just at the wine garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did an intimate setting. The most important people were there, his dad, mom, dad, all that stuff. And then you decided, like, what made you decide to say, you know what, we just gonna go and get married? Because to me, the traditional sense to me is the man asked and blah, blah, blah. But based on what you stated, that's what I'm saying is, but based on what you stated, you was like, no, we don't have to do all that because I can do everything and just put you on paper and we just.
So my wife is a traditional woman.
Okay.
In the sense that, you know.
And how did you, I want you to expound on that. How did you recognize that part of it? Because I know she's never been married, but you've done it twice. But still, you've been married, you know, in the traditional sense. So what made you, for lack of a better sense, thank you, Holy Spirit, give that to her? So do that for her.
So I was committed to Miranda. And
way before the piece of paper.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely. A piece of paper is nice to have, but it has literally no value to me. Because she was probably one of the few women in my life that actually listened. Most of the time when women talk to me, they want to get out their feelings, which I'm sitting there glossy-eyed and all that other stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening. So when it's my turn to speak, instead of playing the victim, getting defensive, being confrontational, all the rest of that, she actually listened, which is something that I recommend you ladies do. It'll probably help you get and keep a man if you shut your mouth and just listen. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being quiet, being submissive, so on and so forth. I'm not asking or trying to tell you that a brother's supposed to take over your life because you're submissive. What I'm saying is, listen, don't be defensive, don't be guarded, don't be combative, because it's not doing you any good. Because I told my wife this. I said, the moment a brother gets quiet with you when you're talking to him, he's planning an exit strategy. And the reason why he's doing that is because if you can't take the time to just listen and listen to how he's approaching, because you're the safest thing he's got other than his boys. If you don't have time for that, he don't have time for you. And I can tell you for some of my previous relationships, that's why I left. If I can't talk to you,
a little nugget to listen.
I'm not going to be with you. And also, being a guy, the 98%, I can tell you, 98%, I tell my wife this all the time, 98% of the emotional angst in our relationship is going to belong to you because you care. You care about the families, you care about the people's feelings, you care about what's going on, you care about your friends and all this other stuff. That 2% that I care about is 2% that can't be questioned. It can't be argued over. It's not going to be conceded. And the reason being is that is 100% of my emotional being. And if I can't have that little 2% in our relationship, I will, again, hence the paper means nothing to me. I will leave your ass in a heartbeat because that's all I want. You women try to make us into these very, very complicated creatures. We're not. We're not complicated. As a matter of fact, most of us don't like, as males when we grow up, we don't like combativeness because for us, the reaction to that has always been violence.
Okay.
We don't like you being aggressive because if you're aggressive, again, as young men, we're taught that if someone's aggressive toward you, you be aggressive toward them. We're going to be aggressive. If someone is peaceful toward you, you are peaceful toward them. And since we basically grow up with two kind of modes, peaceful and aggressive, we're always seeking peace.
So you're always in combat mode because somebody's especially with a black man, that's the constant attack. The constant attack on your spirit, your being, or, from any, especially from society. But I digress. So now that you have made that commitment.
Yes.
You've made that commitment. I have to tell you guys out here on camping, it's a lot of couples out here. And with the couples I've learned and I'm watching in order to better my relationships, because I do believe in surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I also believe in these people, based on the way they're raised, are setting great examples, even if it's by default on what they learned. Now, I laugh at Ben because I was just like, we got out here, and she said this, and this is the thing that I love with her response. And she's in there resting, and she said, I let him do what he does. And in knowing that, we talked about that, knowing your spot, knowing your place, or something like that, because that's how their relationship works. to see it in action, I must say, because my father was the same way. My mother's, I know this is what he does. To know that you still have that type of, I don't want to say independence, but you don't lose your individuality.
Oh, I'm not going to lose it. I
Yeah.
demand it. And the reason why I demand it is because there's this concept of misogyny and hyper testosterone males. Oh, it's all garbage. Ladies, listen. I've
This is a
had
message for the ladies.
50
Listen.
years of practice with y'all. 50 years to get to this point. And I've gone through almost every version of relationship that you can imagine. I've been married. I've married a woman with 2 children. I raised her kids. I've been a baby daddy. Only did one of those. I adopted 2 kids. I raised other people's kids. I've had narcissistic women. I've had women who built their whole lives on status and all the rest of that. At the end of the day, the best advice I can give to you is, 1, whatever trauma you had in your past life, have no expectation of the man that you're going to get with is responsible for fixing that shit. He's also not responsible for bearing your pain.
Correct.
Because if he bears your pain and your scars and you haven't worked that shit out, your relationship's not going to last, and you're going to continue to carry it, and there'll be no opportunity for growth and no opportunity for having a relationship that really means something to you.
But does that also help when the stating now is, you know, he loved me through my pain. He helped me through my pain. He
Been there, done that.
Healed me. You know, I met this man and he just healed me. So in that concept, with you saying that you don't need, you know, we're not going to do all this. How do you get together? Like everybody comes with baggage. Let me say it like that.
So I started that whole line last week with go get your trauma fixed. It's not my job to fix your trauma.
Okay.
It's not your job to fix mine.
Okay.
If the brother's willing to, and let me tell you, healing somebody takes a shit ton of energy.
I agree.
And it takes a lot of putting up with somebody else's garbage. Because I kind of look at relationships like this. A lasting relationship is how much of that other person's garbage can you put up with. Because everybody's got their stuff. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But if you've got major trauma, if you find out that you had 5 or 6 relationships and, you know, they're not all working and you always seem to think it's somebody else, no, it's just you. It's just you. Go get yourself checked out. Who is checking you? You want to check your man, you want to check your girlfriends, but you don't have anybody checking you.
No accountability.
My boys, these guys, ex-military.
They'll be on later. They'll be on later.
I'm ex-military, by the way. We check each other without remorse, without hesitation, because we understand that it's not personal, it's about personal development. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to hurt my feelings. I don't take it personal. Yeah. It's that lack of accountability and understanding that if you own your shit, you got a chance to fix it. If you're looking for a man, hey, at my age, 50s and 60s, when I got divorced, my daughters were like, Dad, please, please, please don't date anybody our age. And I was in my 40s then. And my daughter was 18, 19 years old. I'm like, nah, trust me, baby. I have no desire for that. Now I'm in my 60s. Right? I can still date younger women. I could have dated younger women, you know,
well, that's
until
the
the
thing
day I
now.
die. Who wants that? I mean, you know, I don't have, my ego is done. I want somebody that's peaceful, somebody that can be a companion for me, that will fit me, somebody that will allow me to exist as who I am and not who they think I should be. Because at this particular age, ladies, there ain't no changing me. I'm done. I'm toast. I'm 60-something. You can't change me. I'm not going to be super nigga no more. I'm not going to run around with a 12-pack. I'm not 6'10". I make money to make a pretty decent retirement for myself. And I would tell you in a heartbeat, stop looking for a super Negro flying through the sky that you've been taught your whole life. If you're in your 60s, find somebody that you can actually sit down and have a conversation with. You can go out to dinner with. You can enjoy your time with.
I agree with that.
Stop and get away from this concept of settling. I just never understood what the hell that means.
Now
what does that mean?
I want you to talk.
Settling for somebody.
Let me say this.
Who are you to set the bar so high that your existence as a human being cannot be matched by another person on this planet?
That was a great definition, because as you know, here on Conversations with Cookie B, we have my sometimes co-host, Will. And Will came up with the definition. Well, Will always sticks by his saying that you have reachers and you have settlers. And there are a lot of, and he always defines it. You know, reaching is, you know, you got the 10 and the 2. You drop down to an 8 so they can come up to a 4. That's the reaching and the settling, and that's the most definition. Because when he breaks it down, it always gives me an aha moment every time. So when you said that about women setting standards, I mean everybody has standards, but they're putting the bar so high. And what makes you think that it can't be like I have? Well, let me say, I have this thing. You know, I believe in happy endings, fairy tales. I believe in there's a knight in shining armor who's gonna come save me. I'm Captain Saberhole or whatever. But I don't think it's unattainable. Like I and you guys know it on the show. I always say I like tall men. I am 5'9". I want 6'3", 6'4". A lot of people were saying, "Oh, you cutting out half the men." I do not think it's unattainable. There are tall men out here, and there's one for me. So I don't think that's unreachable.
I'm gonna put it to you
and
like this.
And I'm not gonna settle.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
And it's more than just physicalities. Just don't get me wrong. I want conversation, all that stuff.
You want all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's just that when people say that, I'm like,
super nigga.
How can you, no,
yes, you
no,
do.
it doesn't have to be super.
No, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
So, what you say, what you describe, is 98% of the women on the face of the planet.
Okay.
Whoa, however, only.
Yeah, come on in. We're having a conversation with Cookie B. Come on in here. Come on, we have a seat. We're talking about relationships and men and everything.
Let me finish my statement.
Yeah, finish your statement.
So, you know, who she's talking about is 2% of the men on the planet.
No, it's not 2%.
Let me finish.
How tall are you?
I'm
6'1".
There you go. See?
But you wanted 6'2" and 6'3", so
it don't matter. I'm just tall. I'm just tall.
So what I'm saying is this: 98, because you grow up with that. You grow up with the knight in shining armor, some brother coming in riding on a white horse and on all this other stuff. He's making millions. He's gonna fly you off in his private jet to your secret island and do all that Epstein shit to you.
We're having conversations with Cookie B.
98% of
come on.
Women on the planet want that 2%.
Come on in here. Happy anniversary.
2% of the dudes that fit that description. 98% of y'all.
Not 2%.
There's only 2% of the population is above 6'3". 2%. Now, hang on. If you want them black, you gotta squish that down to a hell.
Oh my gosh!
You gotta squish that down to 0.002% of the Negroes in the United States over 6'3".
I want you to get your iPad out, and I want the statistics.
There are 14 million black people, I think, right now. 14 million black people? No, we're more than that. We're a large percentage. We're like 30% of the population. 33 million people in the United States are African American. Right. So let's take a look at that. I'm just going to take 1% of that number. 1% of 33 million, if I remember correctly, is 330,000 brothers. Now, there are, let's just say half of that 33 million. We're going to say half of that 33 million is 15 million black women. And I'm going to take out the women that are over 60 and take out the ones that are under 10. So I want to take under 10. I'm even going to give you a 20 to 60. No. They want this Negro. This is magic nigga. He got everything. So what that means is 80% of the population of the United States of black women want that 330,000 brothers. So 80% of 15 million is, oh God.
No, I don't. I'm gonna stop.
No, don't stop me. Don't stop me. Even 24 million women want them 330,000 niggas, and you're not gonna get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, even me being 5'9", I'm part of an anomaly also, because most women average height is 5'7".
But men don't care about that.
Excuse me. So now, when it comes to me finding the right one, I'm still up there with the percentage of the men that are 6 something. So we in the same percentile. I digress.
Listen, sweetie.
We have somebody else joining the conversation with his marriage. Come on, wait, let me get it. That's Jay.
Let's do this. Statistically speaking.
Come on.
All right.
Hit it with it, bro.
There are approximately 350,000 to 400,000 African American men over 6'2" and over.
Thank you.
and
I
I
got a chance.
6'2" and
baby, you
over.
don't have a chance.
All right.
How many?
Now,
Don't say that
there's
like that.
there's about 1.5 million African American men over 6 foot, which I fit in because I'm 6'1".
But she said 6'3".
Okay,
I'm just
so-
saying he got to be taller than me.
But those are the statistics, right?
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at. So although there's not a huge pool, they're out there.
Yes.
But,
Unmarried.
But I don't know. I came in late on the conversation.
That's all right. We're just talking
but
about
it
relationships
shouldn't
and marriage.
matter
Go ahead.
how tall a man is. What should matter is he good to you?
No.
Yes.
Right?
No.
Super
I,
nigga.
now,
It's
mind you,
Super nigga.
I agree. No. Mind you, I
That's
agree.
what should be important.
It is
How
important.
does he treat you, right?
I think too that is important. I want that. I want all of that. I want the knight in shining armor. I want him to provide, profess, and protect. I want to be able to have a conversation. I want to be able to laugh. I want him to be able to be socially, not in awkward, but socially where we can go out and you not sitting in the corner. You can still socialize, but you still know how to respect your own space.
Super nigga.
No. Why you gotta be super?
Because listen.
No,
Now,
no.
I just want to back up some information.
Why
here.
he gotta be super nigga?
So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, right?
Go ahead.
So the number of black women in the United States between 20 and 60, there is 14 to 15 million women, right?
Okay.
And there's only 350,000 brothers.
Over 6'2" or over.
Yeah,
Okay.
only 300. So if all y'all going after that brother, some of y'all 300, and I'm not gonna
Some of
say
y'all gonna have to settle for some short.
short nigga.
You're not gonna be short.
What or
shorter,
or-
okay?
or and that's the difference is between men and women is that we don't care about your height.
We don't.
No, when you lay
We
down, it
don't.
matter.
We
You know,
don't.
I'm
I
just
don't-
saying, I have a preference. Just like some men, I like women with big titties. I like women with a big ass. I just like tall men.
Yeah, but they come. Listen.
Period.
But see,
That's just the physicality. Everything else will
I'm
come,
gonna
but it's just
find
that what
I'm
I'm
gonna find big
attracted
titties
to.
and ass a lot faster than you gonna find niggas over 6.
But that's what I'm attracted to. Most when I hang out with my girlfriends, they may say, "Girl, did you see him?" Height is the attraction. I didn't even look at his
Hey, well,
face.
let
I'm
me
like,
ask
if
you
he
a
was
question.
tall, I'ma look.
Let me ask you a
Then I'll be
question.
like this. Okay, now let me see what it looked like. Let me see
Yeah,
what the
let-
shoes
let me-
got on.
let me-
But other than that, if you just come in, girl, did you see such and such? I go, who? Because I'm not. That's just I have blinders on when it comes to that.
That's
just,
okay.
But that's just
Hey, those
my
girlfriends?
attraction.
Those,
That's it.
those
Right.
girlfriends, are they single too?
No, most
Okay,
of my
so-
girlfriends are married.
So let's talk
Goddammit.
about this. So look
I'm
at
a little mad about
exactly.
that. You see, I'm out here with all the married.
So look,
That's all right.
Look
My
at this.
time will come. Sometimes God saves the best for last.
You know,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I'm
Absolutely.
going to go with that too. But here's what I'm going to say: sometimes God is going to tell you get up off your ass and get somebody that's right with you,
No,
not right for you.
When he's sitting right, and when he sends the right one, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be like this. Don't let me fuck this up.
I just hope you ain't. I
And
hope you ain't got
if it
62
is
cats and shit by the time that
I
happens.
only got one
I'm
thing.
not.
Everything that you want, that you were listed on, you got to be all that for him as well.
I will.
Exactly.
You got that. That's the
I
problem.
believe-
A lot of women want this,
They want the fantasy.
but then they don't want to be that for
They don't
them
wanna be the
as
fantasy.
well.
Now-
they just want to
They just got a list of shit.
take it
they
all
got.
in. They want a man to do. He got to pay my.
They gotta
He got to
do-
do this.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And that's no problem.
that's how we-
but you got to be that for him
But we
too.
were raised that way because I too. My parents would. If my mom hadn't have passed away, my parents would have been married 57 years.
Yeah.
And I watched how he did what he was supposed
Your
to do.
parents.
Yeah.
65
She
years.
did what she was supposed to do. And it's not what they supposed to do in that sense, but it's just that their marriage worked. It was old school because I used to say to myself, the way he talked to my mom and be saying stuff, my mother be like this. Oh, okay. She gone about her business, but that was there. My daddy picked cotton. He did all, but that was the way he was raised to be so defensive. You know, white folks was crackers. That's how he was raised in Mississippi. Even that worked for them because she cooked, he cooked. She cooked every day. Holidays, he said, you don't cook a damn thing. He make a 7-layer covenant. He cooked everything on the holidays. That was her time out, but that's how it worked for them. But in the meantime, all that going on, they raised us. I said, what y'all gonna do when we out the house? My mama said, I can't wait till y'all leave. I said, what you gonna do? She said, I don't want to do nothing.
Exactly.
And I just said, oh, okay.
Facts.
But I saw how I've always had good examples. And I bring that back full circle from when we talked earlier. Even being out here camping. I'm looking at everybody's relationship. I see how, I do. I'm very observant. And I said, look at Bob build. look, and then look how baby, you need your coffee. I pay attention to all of that because I think those little things matter. I watch how each couple interacts, the yin and the yang, the give and take, and yet, I mean, I'm not saying that y'all don't have bad moments or nothing, but on the outside looking in, I can glean from each thing like, okay, I want him to do this. Okay, I want him. Even with Belinda, that's the funniest part because she was just like, girl, I can't. He steps right in, move. He breaks down everything. She said, I had the idea. He executed it.
Right.
And it was just wonderful. But that's how I'm learning this is how each and every relationship works. So I have a lot of examples. I can honestly say, you know, my longest relationship, like I just got out, was 10 years. But I had to realize this is no longer satisfying me. Because he has to grow, I have to grow, and I'm not gonna never say anything negative about him on camera, but it's just that I still love him.
She's saving that.
He was 6'4". Yeah, he was 6'4". I love good man. We don't care. Good man, but it's just that you got some stuff you need to do. Right. I know I have some stuff I need to do, but in the meantime, I'm gonna surround myself with like-minded people until that comes. Now I know y'all got some friends that's eventually gonna be like, who that there right there? And I'm gonna be singing that Ella May song. Get you one of these. You know, get you one of these. I'm gonna be singing the same song. Yeah. So yeah, we like, come on in. We talking about relationships.
So I'm gonna look.
Yeah, and here come Mr. Love.
Seeing that I'm of the above average height.
No.
I'm gonna let my short brothers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my short brothers come in here.
What they need to know about short pimping?
Have a seat.
What they need to know?
Right now, well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we on Conversations with Cookie B. We're talking about relationships.
I'm of the above the elite here, so I'm gonna let these little fellas. I'm gonna let these little fellas have a seat.
I'm 5'10", so fuck it.
So we have these. We're just talking about marriage and relationships. Ben and I were talking earlier. Yes, you've been married, and I do want some insight on that.
This brother has been married the longest. I had to do it over. I couldn't get it right the first time.
Yeah, both of us said me and Ben was sitting here having a conversation this morning. And I said, "Do you mind recording?" Because you know I do my Conversations with Cookie B live on Facebook, so I'm on going live, and we're just talking about relationships, marriage, me watching people like I'm watching you and and I'm like, oh my gosh, their relationship, because I want to strive to that. I want a husband. I want to be married. I've never been married. I want to be married. I want to share that one-on-one commitment with someone. Now, Ben earlier made some comments about his belief that marriage is just an institution for glorification, because everything he can do, he can put it on paper. He can put it on paper. You said Ben is an asshole.
Ben is an asshole. I love him to death, but he's an asshole.
And
how long have you been married?
He's an asshole.
26 years this time.
26. Okay. How long was your first one?
This is the third one.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
First one was 5. Second one was 5.
15 minutes. He doesn't know how to
This one's 26. The first one, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm ex-military. I screwed that up in every which way
He's
possible.
an asshole.
Second one, my wife was supposed to be a doctor, but every time I gave her something, the less she wanted to be a doctor, and she didn't want to strive for anything. And at that point, if we can't build nothing, I'm not taking care of nobody.
20s and 30s.
Okay.
You know,
yeah. Now, please expound on that too, because we were talking about that, the age group. So, in your first marriage, you said you was married for 5 years.
Yeah.
What age were you?
Well, we were 19 and 20.
Okay.
We were young people.
Okay.
And
your second marriage?
My second marriage, I was 27 to probably 30, 32, 33.
Okay. And then now with...
and I was in college then and in the military at the same time.
Okay. And now with... Sonia, yeah.
We've been married since... we've been married since 2002, but we've been together 26 years.
Okay.
26 years. And I have to say, it's been a smooth 26 years. It don't seem like 26 years.
It don't seem like 26 years?
When I say smooth, it ain't got knockdown fighting, but it's been smooth.
So let me ask you this, because I know that Ben talked about this earlier. Peace. That is men search for peace.
We ain't gonna get it.
You don't think so?
I don't think women are. I don't think a woman is truly ever happy.
Never.
But what about your peace? Is this what brought you, like when you decided to marry Sonia, what made you say, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with you?
I look forward to this.
Because she kept telling me she wanted to be married.
So you did it for her. You said that same
Yeah.
statement. Okay.
Yeah, I did it for. If
So were you okay not being married and just keeping the relationship as it was, like for 26 years? Would you?
Yeah. Nothing changes for us.
Nothing. Period.
Except a piece of paper.
Just
That's
piece
it.
of paper. And you getting half my shit entitled to half my shit.
For no good fucking reason.
That's why, that's why most men end up killing a woman. It ain't about
Yes,
the
you
relationship.
goddamn right. I say killing when it's
because
over with.
it's because you
Bitch, you
getting
leave me out
half my
killing.
shit. And if
Yeah.
I was rich, I would never be married.
Absolutely not.
And if I was to ever get out of this relationship, which I don't see it, I would strictly have a transactional relationship.
Transaction. Because that's all they want now. This sister got on TikTok and said, if a man's gonna date me, he's gonna pay me $50,000 a month to be with me. So my response to that would be, because if I had that kind of money, here's what would happen. First of all, we would have a contract. Everything we do would be
We wouldn't
transactional.
even have that.
No, I need that because I need to. No, I need that because here's the rules that go with that. I don't give a shit about your feelings. I don't care what you want. I will give you this $50,000, and you better respond to all of my needs at a glance. The moment you gain more than 3 pounds, your contract is ended. It's been fun talking to you, and you can move the fuck up. Because that is strictly transactional and strictly contract.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing live on Conversation with Cookie B, and I'm talking to two of my brothers of the Leaf, and this is very, very informative. Yes, very informative.
Men, what women don't realize, because I'm glad I didn't want to walk into this, but women don't understand men are very simple creatures.
Ooh.
Fuck us, feed us, and leave us the fuck alone,
Ooh.
and we'll be all right.
Life.
And men,
Preach, nigga.
men, just understand this, ladies, men never leave. We never leave because we always think it's going to get better. When a man leaves you, you have truly fucked up.
Truly.
Truly, men don't leave.
Truly.
When was the last time you really heard of a man filing for divorce?
Well, from my perspective, from what I've heard, men won't leave because they don't want the accountability, the blame.
No,
They'll say,
absolutely.
she left me.
No,
She left me.
That's
Go.
y'all.
Crazy
She left
enough.
me.
That's y'all.
Okay.
We
Don't
fine
notice.
with the blame.
Yeah, I don't mind the blame. Hey,
I don't
shit,
mind the blame.
I will take that shit.
Every failed relationship, I take the blame. What happened? Me? It was me.
Didn't you just hear me say, as soon
It
as
was
I
me.
sat down?
Even
I
if it
fucked up.
wasn't.
But my
I
favorite
don't
thing
want
is
her to feel any kind. I don't want people
Now.
to feel any kind of way about her.
Okay.
I'm not going to put that on her because no matter what, it's probably a little bit of me and a little bit of her.
Okay.
But I'd rather the heat come as the man.
I can take
I'll
that.
take all the heat.
It don't bother
I'll
me.
take all the heat, and she can say whatever she wants to say. I'm like, yeah, okay, she right.
Once I turned 50,
That's it.
once I turned 50, I started dating one woman at a time. Because before that, when my marriage ended, I wasn't trying to be nobody. It was I had to find me again.
Okay.
So once I started dating one woman at a time, and when I left the woman I was with, I wasn't.
So you left.
Oh yeah, and I'll
Okay.
tell you why I left. Right? I wasn't into. If I wanted to have a bunch of women in my life, at 50 it takes a lot of energy. I didn't want to be bothered with that. So I dated one woman at a time, and I went through trying to find having these conversations and trying
ready to get
to
started?
make a relationship. And at the end of the day,
I got to the bathroom.
go ahead. At the
I
end
got
of
to
the
go
day,
to the bathroom. That's what
at
happens
the
when
end
you
of the
get
day,
old.
it wasn't a fit for me. But the one thing I wanted to be sure of, and I was to say, hey, look, it wasn't anybody else. You're the only person I spent my time with. It was something about us that didn't match up. The energy wasn't there. It wasn't positive, so on and so forth. So I left because I wanted to get away from this whole thing of taking the blame for every goddamn thing, even when it wasn't. I got tired of that shit. And so when I would leave, then all of a sudden I'm the enemy, blah, 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 blah. And I must have been doing this. I must have been doing that. Women have this thing about having no responsibility in the relationship and no accountability in the relationship. They believe that they come out, again, it's this syndrome. I am the perfect princess. I am the prize and all this other stuff. And that's not how that works. You are not the prize.
Well, look, I'm not going to go that far.
Look.
I'm not going to.
First of all,
I know y'all get ready to start, y'all.
I'm not
I
bashing.
will
No,
never
just-
bash
it's
or,
not
or
bashing.
misinform
This is adult.
or
This is
anything.
adult conversation. You
but
are entitled to your opinion.
I
We
will-
don't have to anything.
I will provide statistics.
Okay,
though.
come on, come on.
Statistics.
Come on.
Again.
Work with me.
In heterosexual marriages,
Yeah, tell them, bro.
women initiate divorce much more often than men,
Absolutely.
filing for approximately 70% of
Absolutely.
all divorces.
And what about women on women, bro? Can you tell me that one?
I don't want to.
The
talk about
highest
that.
number of divorces is between
But-
women and other women.
But
And gay marriage.
of all heterosexual divorces are filed by women. Now, caveat, right?
Okay.
Caveat.
Maybe the men cheated in some,
Yeah.
but in others, I think in a great majority of them, it's because
They wanted more.
they didn't feel fulfilled. They wanted more. They felt like they needed
You
more.
never do enough.
And sometimes doing all you can
It's never gonna be enough.
is never enough.
No.
You know, I've been there.
Me too.
My first marriage was that type of marriage.
Now, how long were you married? The first time?
First time,
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
we were married, I think, like 8 years, but we were only together like the first year.
Okay.
First
It's
year.
because are you two military, right?
Yeah, I'm military.
Okay, so is it because of the distance and all that stuff, or?
No, it was mostly because we didn't get married for the right reasons.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got married. It was really, both of us we're close to age, so it was more or less like she got pregnant, right? It was an unplanned pregnancy, right? I didn't want to be like my father before me and not marry my mother, and she didn't want to be unmarried. She was in college and everything, and we decided to get married. But neither one of us was actually ready for not only for having a child, but for the marriage itself.
And what about the second? This is your second marriage?
Yes.
You've only been married twice?
I've only been married twice.
Okay, that's just
So my first marriage, even though the marriage ended and it wasn't great, she was and is still an amazing mother to our daughter, right? And we grew apart, and then we grew close. Apart from each other, we're great friends.
Because now you're growing. Yeah,
we're great friends. She's a wonderful person. She's an amazing mother. Her and my wife get along amazingly, right? We can all come together as a family and do things together as a family. She has another daughter, and I embrace her as like my stepdaughter, right? And so we're a great blended family, and it's the same with my current wife. My current wife, her ex-husband, he's my family, right? We do barbecues together. We go over there. We spend time together. We do things together as blended families, right? We all love each other. But as you mature, I wasn't always like that. But as we mature, we get to a point to where it's easier to not have drama than to create something, right? So it's unnecessary, right? It just, I'm at a point in my life where I love love, and I believe in love. And my wife Tiffany, she has, I don't know, she's made me stronger in love and in Christ, right? Because she's walking her journey, and even though I may not participate in everything, I listen and I'm hearing, and I'm learning, and I'm just trying to be a better human, a better husband.
He is.
I
can vouch for that.
And my boys know.
He used to be a
my
chef.
boys know. My previous life, I was a motherfucker.
He was not good.
You're right.
His previous life was not good.
And we've been married, what 12
years, yeah.
This is our 12. This will be our 12th
Congratulations.
anniversary.
Congratulations.
So, we putting it down.
That's all right. Well, I'm going to end now.
Yeah,
I just want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank my brothers of the Leaf for their perspectives. I can guarantee you that there probably will be a part 2 sometime, because everything they said has been very insightful.
You gotta have the ladies come in.
Yes. No, that's next. Yes. Everything they said to be insightful, but now I'm infringing on their domino time. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Conversation with Cookie B. Thank you so much for your insight, and I'll see y'all soon.
What up, though? Detroit,
I want to thank you guys so much.
All right,
oh my
domino
gosh.
time.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and play your
I was
domino.
gonna ask you probably later on, how do you monetize that shit?
I'm trying to get monetized because it takes a while.